Hey, Mazzy, welcome back to Whack-A-Mole number 186, the random 5 pulls. So let's have at it. One. Two. Three. Four. And five. Wanker. 12-inch, right? Is this the album or 12-inch? Oh, this is, what is this? Oh, this is the 12-inch of the Interesting Drug by Morrissey on Sire Records. This is from 1989, American edition. Morrissey vocals. This is a duet with Christy McCall, the late, great Christy McCall. Love her. Of course, you know her from Fairy Tale in New York, that wonderful Pogues Christmas song with Shane MacGowan. Tragic ending to her life, but her solo records are extremely wonderful records. I have all of them on compact disc. I don't think I have any on vinyl of Christy McCall, but I love her on this. Andy Works on bass here, Mike Joyce. So you got 3 out of the 4 Smiths on here. You don't have, of course, Johnny Marr. What else is on here? Interesting Drug. Of course, let's see. I got to open it up because it doesn't have the track listing. Interesting Drug, 3 minutes 27 seconds. Of course, produced by Stephen Street. And the other side is Such a Little Thing Makes a Big Difference and Sweet and Tender Hooligan. I mean, he is actually the antithesis of hooligan, right? He's like hooligan, Paul Hooligan Morrissey, of course, of the Smiths. So, and even though I think he's a wanker, I still love his solo records to this day. Last thing he's made. Okay, this is wonderful cover image, volume 3. Tony's greatest hits. I mean, come on, who can? If I walked in here with a shirt with collars like that, you'd all I would totally get bombed. The trolls would bomb the comments and everything. Who's this wanker, this elitist hipster here, sporting collars by that? But Tony gets away with it. Volume 3 already, it has that great song. Of course, I definitely left my heart in San Francisco, and that's on here. Quiet Nights. Corcovado, that's Astrid Gilberto song, possibly. But what a great song. Taste of Honey, there's a Beatle connection there. If I Ruled the World, but I guarantee you that is not that song by, the British band, the two guys. I will rule the world, different song, totally. But there you go. Once Upon a Time, The Best Is Yet to Come. I want to be around quiet nights and quiet stars. But look at that. It looks like an Avedon photograph. It is. It's Richard Avedon. You could tell I don't know. I can totally tell his style and his printing, his black and white style. I did not know that, but it does get a credit. But I was just talking to Tom Rashawn about Richard Avedon because he apparently did the cover of the Dave Mason Mama Cass album. And, but anyway, Columbia Records. What a great artist. Okay. This is Reprise, Moving with Nancy. Of course, this says the soundtrack from her television special. I never saw her television special, but of course it has special guests Dean Martin, Lee Hazelwood, and a very, very close relative. You know who that is, the chairman of the board. I Got to Get Out of This Town, Who Will Buy Things, Nancy and Dean Martin. We got a duet, Some Velvet Morning. Almost pop psychedelia, right? Some velvet morning when I dream. She just celebrated her birthday the other day, I think. And the great reissues on Light in the Attic, I'll do a shout out. But of course, all her Reprise records you can get. Up, Up and Away, Nancy, Nancy, Jackson, Nancy and Lee Hazelwood. I got this record pretty cheap. It has a sticker of $10 orange, label VG++. I mean, is it worth, you know? Of course, we love that Reprise label. That was the custom label that Frank Sinatra got when he left Capitol Records, went to Warner Brothers, and they gave him Reprise. The irony is that Reprise did all this stuff like with Frank Zappa and Neil Young. They became a huge rock and roll. Of course, they had Dean Martin, they had Nancy Sinatra and Frank Sinatra, but Moving with Nancy. Never saw it. I mean, you may need to seek that out. This is probably, what is it, 69, 70? Probably 69. Don't know. Music arranged by Billy Strange and the orchestration. All right. Ooh, this is a good one. This is one of two albums I have on Ode, produced by Lou Adler of the great Mary Clayton. Great rock and soul singer. Of course, those of you who are Rolling Stones fans, she's the one, Rape, Murder, just to shout away. They bring her in while she's pregnant, like late at night, early in the morning. The Stones bring her in to sing on Gimme Shelter. But her two records back to back here, I don't know if she made more at this period, but Ode Records, Lou Adler's label, of course, big hits, producing Tapestry and many other artists here. Look at this. But she does interesting kind of rock covers. She has a cover of Southern Man on here, the Neil Young song. She does After All This, Carole King song. A Song for You, the great song by Leon Russell. Steamroller by James Taylor, Show Enough by Billy Preston. Grandma's Hands, Bill Withers song. Just a great singer. She's got this funky rock and roll soul sensation. You know, was it 50 feet of stardom, 30 feet of stardom, 20 feet of stardom? If you ever get a chance to see that documentary and these background singers. But in her own right, her records are fantastic. I'd say they're more rock than soul, but they're definitely a soul sound. I keep her in my soul section because there's a soulfulness that's just wonderful on here. Got A&M Records. Is this that great label of A&M? Let's see. Or is it? It's the Ode. It's the white Ode. Of course it is. I was thinking it might be that great kind of Shit Brendel colored brownish greenish A&M label, which are great pressings. But this is probably 71 or 2. I don't see the date on here, but what a fantastic record. And lastly, I just showed this record, La Vallée. It's the film. This is the soundtrack was from. This is Pink Floyd's album Obscured by Clouds. This is the album of the tour that I just saw them. And if you just saw my recent video on a year's worth of wonderful British shows I saw in 1972, 73, that's when I saw Pink Floyd. After this album came out and prior to Dark Side of the Moon. But I absolutely loved it. I think this is a perfect album. This is this is essentially a soundtrack, but it doesn't play like a soundtrack. So if you, there's some clips from the film. I finally, like literally 15 years or so after this album came out, probably in the 80s, I finally saw La Vallée, the film, at a small theater, the Clay Theater in San Francisco in the Fillmore District. Had like a run of it. Interesting film, The Mudmen. If you know Irving Penn's great photograph portraits of the Mudmen, you'll know that, but it's a great photographer. A fantastic record in its own right. You don't need to see the film to love this soundtrack, because it doesn't play like a soundtrack. It's just a wonderful, moving, and I think one of their more cohesive records, actually, Pink Floyd. In 1972, this came out. So that's the latest Whack-A-Mole. Hope you had a good time, as he loves you.